Welcome back. The Albanese government is under fire this morning after it was revealed more than 20,000 permanent visas have been granted to family members of asylum seekers who arrived illegally in Australia by boat. The visas were granted between February 2023 and September 2024. It follows a reform introduced by the federal government in 2023, which expanded access to family reunion rights to asylum seekers in Australia. For their take, let's bring in Daily Telegraph journalist James Willis and journalist Deborah Clay. Good morning to you. James, so Labor's actually hit back, saying all these visas were assessed fairly and on merit. Do you think this is fair?
Well, this is a really, really complicated issue that would take all morning to explain. But basically, these people arrived before 2013 when the coalition took over. We remember we had a really big crackdown with Operation Sovereign Borders. Since then, the legal process for them to fight to remain in Australia and to claim to be genuine refugees that do need asylum here has been back and forth. We're not like America where Donald Trump can sign an order and suddenly kick thousands of people out. There's a very complicated process here. The problem for the Prime Minister on this one is that he doesn't want to appear to be soft on borders heading into an election, and this change that was made in 2023 weakened and changed the policy just enough that we've started to see the first boats arrive back. There's been a few boats arrive in the last 12 months, and also, as we've heard today, thousands of illegal asylum seekers have been allowed to stay permanently. So that's the problem for the Prime Minister. I also note the quote in the story from Home Affairs saying that if people have exhausted all avenues to stay, it's up to them to get on a plane to go back to their country. That was the line from Home Affairs in the story. So that's not tough enough in my mind.
So, Deb, it sounds like these are the people who've been assessed and allowed to stay. Their family members are allowed to stay. Is that fair?
Well, I think that in order to answer that, we have to analyse the changes. James was talking about that 2023 change. There was also a change that saw the High Court strike out, which meant that non-citizens who are released from indefinite detention, they don't have to wear ankle bracelets or curfews. So you can see why there are these questions. You can see why there's this consternation in the community at the moment. And Peter Dutton, he is looking at what's happened in the US election with Donald Trump and how immigration has been such a hot topic strategically. Peter Dutton, over the coming months, is going to be drawing on that because he knows that it's an issue that really resonates with the community.
You're right, Deb. This was one of the big two issues in the US election, and it will probably turn out to be that in our election, which is coming up before the middle of May. They have to have it. Moving on, and a Melbourne man has been left shocked after a popular venue asked him to remove his Donald Trump Make America Great Again hat or leave the establishment. The bar doesn't have a no-hat policy, but management said it was, quote, inciting political trouble. Deb, the venue, it's called the Captain Baxter. It states that it is a place free from discrimination. Do you think this is discrimination?
Well, I think that they've gone way too far here, and I think that Angelo has tapped into a sentiment across Australia at the moment where people don't like to be told what to think and what to wear. We saw it with the supermarket chain when they said that they weren't going to be stocking merchandise on Australia Day, and boy, didn't they backtrack on that. But I will say this to Angelo: didn't your mother tell you don't wear hats inside? That's my biggest problem here.
Some people might think that. We were always told that.
What about the singlet? Well, half a singlet. I would have knocked him back on that. But look, if he is genuine, and we weren't there, so I don't want to go completely over the hill with him, but I think this is crazy. I think if he was wearing a vote Joe Biden hat or vote Kamala Harris hat, there would have been no issue. I think these are the kind of things that make people really, really annoyed and want to fight back against. This pub was also one that didn't celebrate Australia Day, I might add. But the other thing is, Nat, I don't know if you've been to many pubs recently, but the outfits that people wear these days, the slogans on shirts and hats,
yes.
I mean, they're far more offensive than Make America Great Again. So it seems ridiculous. And
you get out there, James.
Oh, well, sometimes.
Yeah,
once
you
a month,
are a pub goer.
Once a month on
like
a Thursday night for
no one else.
bingo and a $10 steak.
This is going to blow up. Tell us what you think about this one. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.